Hello, my name is Corey Keith, and I am presenting here on the course on in-depth trans awareness training for professionals. Um, Overall, this course will focus on what it means, what is the experience of transgender folk, what is their experience of oppression and invisibility in our society, and what are the skills and the information we need to create those inclusive environments and programs that we are so wanting to create. This module will focus on the diversity of gender, the journey of trans folk and what that means, the medical aspects, the coming out process, and the very last slide, like all the modules, will focus on will show a list of the articles, resources, and the worksheets and discussion questions. So the latter is more for the assignment, and the first two are for your information. So feel free to let me know if there is any information that is missing or needs error, or if you have questions. Feel free to give me a shout. All right, so let's get going on the first slide. I hope you really enjoy this, and I hope this helps your profession in doing what you need to do to be inclusive and open to people of all genders. Thank you so much. Hello. Alright, so here's the second slide, and as you can see, this is a slide of multiple spectrums. This really helps to differentiate between sexuality and gender, as well as understand the full complexities and how complex and beautiful we are. So let's start with sex. So you can see a green dot. That all the green is where I'm at. I'm using that as to describe this, and just to give you a sense of what this all means. So on sex, I have a dot on male. I'm biologically male. However, I am also on hormones, so I'm slowly shifting where my gender is at, right? My sex, rather. And so it's not static. Even some intersex people who are, for the most part, visually biological male, but their testicles will drop. So this can shift as well. And there have been some recent studies that talk about how our DNA can switch partway through our life as well. Gender identity. So this is different from sex. Sex is our physicality, whereas gender identity is how we view ourselves inside. Okay, so for me, I'm somewhere in the middle and I fluctuate back and forth. So I view myself as gender fluid. That's the label I use. Now, for many people, they can fit anywhere. Some are male, some are female, some somewhere in between. Everybody's different. The next one is gender expression. Now, the difference is identity is how I see myself, expression is how I express. So whether that's voice, clothing, mannerisms, all of these things is the expression. For me, it's pretty match. There's masculine and feminine, but for other people, it may differ from the gender identity. For example, I've known one boy in particular that identify as male, but like to cross-dress, right? And this is often true of, let's say, in the gay community, where there's males who are gay, but like to do drag shows or cross-dress, right? So you can see how it can be complicated. There are heterosexual women who like to do drag shows or cross-dress, right? Sexual orientation. This is the attraction you have to someone, to a particular gender. Here, I'm using my biological sex to describe that I'm mostly attracted to other women. However, I am also attracted to men. The unfortunate thing about this spectrum is that it is quite dualistic. in that it focuses on either gay or straight kind of thing, right? And the thing is, it's much more complicated. If I'm attracted to trans, where does that fit? If I am trans, it assumes I am one or the other and attracted to one or the other. So this spectrum does not work, doesn't hold up anymore. In the next slide, I will show a much more dynamic um, diagram that is more complete, not perfect, but more complete in the complexities of gender and sexuality. In the meantime, we'll move on to sexual identity. Again, these two can differ, but can be the same. So my identity is gender fluid, is pansexual, right? Which doesn't fit on the spectrum. But some people identify as lesbian, let's say, and other ones are, but really they are bisexual. They have chosen an identity of lesbian either for safety, because the lesbian community that they're connected to is quite oppressive to bisexuals, or they have chosen that identity in order to because they believe it's more politically savvy, right? And so people will differentiate, right? Some people are actually queer, but identify as heterosexual because they don't want people to know. They don't want to know themselves, if that's the case. Sex drive. Like everybody's on a different place. There are some folk that are asexual, and yeah, everybody's different. As you can see, this is quite complex, and everybody fits something differently on this. Okay, so this slide, as you can see, is a new diagram. The blue focuses on our attractions and who we're attracted to. So you have male for M, female for F, TI for trans or intersexed, whereas the black is our gender, male or female, and maybe trans or intersexed in the middle. Okay, so I fit in the middle, although that fluctuates, but let's pick a point for ease. So right smack dab in the middle. Okay, so I'm attracted to a lot of females and a few males, and occasionally I'm attracted to trans or intersex depending on the dynamic and their energy, right? Whether it's masculine, feminine, or combination of. Now, if we applied ourselves to this diagram, we're all going to see that we are on here, and we're all going to be different, okay? Not one of us is alike if we're truly honest with ourselves, okay?